Right, we've got more coffee. We've got more coffee, and we're ready to go. Here we go with another review. From In the Court of the Wenton King, our reviews channel. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Wenton King.
Yep.
And they sell Raspberry Pis, but only as a sort of kit.
Well, you get all that stuff on the internet now, don't you?
Well, that's an epic digression there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, that's because the album we've convened to talk about is gone.
Yeah, so it's a prog album, isn't it? Yeah, we're a prog channel, so we have to review albums released by K-Scope because they're so exciting. But it's called Gazpacho.
Soup, isn't it, Gazpacho?
Yeah. Cold soup. It makes me think of Red Dwarf. We'll talk about it in a minute. The album is called Demon, and there's a tree and stuff. And 7 layers of hell or something. Is that? Yeah. I don't know.
Something like that.
Path to enlightenment. Layers of levels of bullshitting. Give us more money, and you can be even more enlightened.
Yeah, and there's weird writing on the bottom. It looks like don't know, devil writing or something like that. Might just be backwards, actually. I
think there's some stuff which looks like Old English or Latin or something in the something. Yeah.
The language of the devil.
Yeah. So Stephen Wilson type stuff. I don't know if Sam agrees with that. Superficially prog because it's got long songs and it's concepts, and because it's got weird stuff in the inlay.
There's no CD inside, Kev.
Oh yes, because I only just listened to it. Have we given this a chance? I don't know. Long song, soaring epicness. There's not really anything proggy about it, really. And yet some people would disagree because obviously proggy just means whatever you want it to mean. We have people arguing that The Who are proggy because they do concept albums, by definition. And I read the inlay before listening to the music.
Oh.
Okay. So it's interesting you mentioned all the silly writing and stuff. Lots of Illuminati nonsense, ancient drawings that I suspect aren't real. Possibly secret messages, hidden messages. There's a bit of the lyrics which are like on a typewriter, and there's a bit crossed out, and you can't see what it says, and then it says something else that replaces it. That sounds really interesting. What's this going to be like? Once I got through the album, I didn't care about any of that.
Once I got through
it. Generic conservative version of the Stephen Wilson Radiohead kind of, Muse type vocals. Some chord progressions and some singing. I think these are songs written on piano by a pianist, a songwriter who plays the piano to write chords. However, I'm currently nursing a work hangover. It's Saturday today. We're recording this, and when you work a whole week and you do a lot of hours, and you, it's a long bank holiday, and then you just and you feel awful and ill. So is that affecting my opinion of this? Because I've listened to this till this today. Yeah. So is that fair? Don't know. It's got acoustic instruments. There's some violins and stuff, and the best bit is actually the accordion. Ironically, because I used to make jokes about accordions. It gives it more of a Euro feel, but it's hardly used. Those are the best bits. I can get that from the Witcher 3 soundtrack. And if a game soundtrack holds my attention more than a prog album,
I think what we're talking about, the issue is, I think what we've got to discuss is, we've done this because, we
needed a gap between the
three
proper stuff.
Yeah, the 3 Nurse with Wound albums is sort of like a descent into madness.
Yeah, they don't know that yet. Oh my god!
So we needed this. We needed something that was. So we chose Demon.
Demon. It's going to be so frightening and extreme.
Yeah, everything about it is potentially so cool. Yeah, and I think that's probably why I ended up buying it. I can't remember the exact reason I bought it.
I think I might know why, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, I'm intrigued now. because I can't remember. I've had this for quite a while, and I think I'd listened to it once, and we were discussing what are we going to review next. We need a single album.
Yeah.
Well, let's review this. Give me an excuse to listen to it. Anyway, it starts off quite intriguing. Track 1, first 10 seconds, right up until the point where they try and take it heavy, and then it's really, really crap. They can't do, it's sort of like, because there's violins and stuff, and you think, oh, this is actually, they sound like they've got some interesting things going on. There's quite a broad sound, and it doesn't sound horrific. And then they go, I don't know. They try and make it heavier. All the instruments play together on this beat, and this is supposed to be heavy, and it just doesn't feel very heavy.
Yes. Which
is quite strange for a modern band. And then you get that new prog thing. It's tiresome. It's sort of like
there's more of this.
Somewhere along the line, I think it's gone too far now. So someone worked out, if you're a sort of working band, prog particularly,
if you'll appeal to that little niche there, it doesn't have to be that good.
You've got to,
so we'll listen to it.
Yeah, you've got to do one album a year, possibly more.
Yeah.
To get people to buy albums, keep the income ticking over, and that sort of, it almost feels like a sideline project. It doesn't feel like anyone sat down and gone, do you know what, this isn't right. It's not punchy enough.
Yeah.
It's not interesting enough.
Yeah, and I don't know whether that's them or whether I'm missing. It just doesn't. It's not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Or is it them just being generic?
Yeah, and then sort of like you look on their album list and you see, there's quite a few albums there. I kind of get a feeling for what's going on, which is strange. I mean, a lot of the like Led Zeppelin, and the Beatles. They produced albums in quite quick succession.
Yes.
And they were all really, really, really good. And they were all sort of like opening their sound. There was development there.
Yes. No, the thing is, of course, though they lived it. They were the music, and they didn't do anything else, literally, until they can't bother to do it anymore. And then they just couldn't be ever as good again, because to just live that, you can't do that now. Life is different. You cannot be the music and live it and do nothing else. Life's too much distractions and crap and iPads and bollocks. That's the thing, I think.
Yeah, there's not enough money in bands for the band to be the band. Like the guitar player's got to be, telephone salesman, manager, or something like that.
The drummer sanitizer.
Yeah, the drummer's, Tesco's executive or something like that. This is sort of like their hobby. I have no knowledge of the people of Gazpacho. I'm relying on Kev to tell me that.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of vibe you get, and I think that is the prog issue.
Yeah.
Because prog is quite narrow. Has narrow appeal. It's not like the big thing.
But as soon as you fit in that niche, you get on K-Scope.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that good to be on K-Scope, but you'll just get sent to all these people all over the world. It doesn't matter that they're distributed all over the world. It's like our channel, We're not very good, but we're brought because YouTube does the job for us.
Yeah.
There'll be enough people watching us just talking crap. But yeah, okay. But here's the thing. It is so interesting from what you said. This is the quote on the website, okay? This album, written over 2 years, Demon is the most complicated and strange album we've ever made. Huh? And it's just some chords. It's quite boring. And it's all the same.
Yeah, you got to wonder, is the complicated... did they spend a year and a half designing the cover and the booklet?
And the concept. And all, exactly. All that. But here's the thing, right. 4 songs based on the mad ramblings left behind by an unknown tenant in an apartment in Prague. So, and the idea is whoever it was possessed by a demon, something. Is that serious? Are they taking the piss out of Stephen Wilson? Because either that's terrible, or they're taking the piss out of Stephen Wilson,
which is quite funny, actually.
Yeah, and I thought, actually, if this was funny, it was like tongue in cheek. That would be quite entertaining, but it isn't. It's deadly serious and dry. Oh, the songs.
I mean, actually, as a concept, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's so much you can do around that. You can develop that concept further beyond the music sort of thing.
In Prague. It's too. It leans too much to a Python-esque thing or something.
Well, there's many churches and stuff in it. Very holy city is Prague.
Actually, it sounds like something Vic and Bob have said. You know?
But I ain't got an issue with that concept. It sounds like a very good.
Well, it depends what the music is, doesn't it?
Novel.
But if the music is just. Brum,
yeah, that's the issue. You've got to. You've got to have the music behind the concept.
It's got the 90s-ness. It's the shouting Muse vocals that aren't really shouting, and with the distortion, that's really boring.
I actually think instrumentally, yeah, you're right. It's quite simple, but I mean, the music does kind of change, but the vocals don't.
It's actually, I found the best bit was track 4. There was actually different bits, and when the accordion, that's a really nice bit, and there's like a creepy plink plink bit, dum, dum, and then which keeps going back into the boring distorted vocal stuff, and then back into the plink, and I like the plink plink, but not the. So you know, Death Room. That's 18 minutes.
Epic.
It really passed me by. But I mean, you agree, so that's a thing. You know, have I given it a chance? No. But I'm not going to listen to it again.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? That's why it's gathering dust on my shelf.
Yeah. They've been around for quite a while. This is one of their many albums, as we said. You know, this is... When is this? 2006?
Like that, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. No, 2014. I think they've been around since like 2003 or something. What a great name for a band. Gazpacho. Or call the band Gazpacho Demon.
Yeah.
Would be great, you know? Gazpacho soup is cold soup, you know, that makes me think of Red Dwarf, which is, you know, when Arnold Rimmer dies from when he blows up, kills everybody by mistake, and he falls over and he says, Gazpacho! What does that mean? And it turns out when he got to sit with the officers in the ship, it was his big moment, and they bought gazpacho soup, and he drank his soup, and he said, "This is cold. Please take it back and give me warm soup." So they brought back warm gazpacho soup, and it was so embarrassing. Super. It's funny when you explain something like that. That's not funny at all.
Red Dwarf is a real sort of funny thing. I mean,
yes,
it's not funny. It's not that funny, but at the time, it was really cool to, you know, really tune in every week.
And the new series of it seems so bad, right? But I've been hearing little clips of it in first thing in the morning. I'll listen to like 3 minutes of it when my wife will put it on, and I'm sitting, I'm laughing away because the jokes are good. And yet, when we first saw those new episodes, they seemed so bad. They should make it into a radio series. Yeah. Get some writer who can actually, you know, make it work. That's the problem. There's a whole story there. It's just the one guy and all that stuff, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, K-Scope. We're not really fans of K-Scope. Perhaps surprisingly. And if you're looking at reviews, we don't really do Neoprog because it's kind of boring. I mean, Stephen Wilson's K-Scope, isn't he? But I mean, he's a exception rather than... I mean, I really like early Spocksbeard. I like them. And I think Dream Theater fall into the same category. I like Dream Theater, you know. Mm-hmm. But there's a whole miasma of boring bands. But this isn't prog at all. No. What's prog about it long and there's a concept? Well, I'm interested to hear why you think I actually ended up having it. That's well, maybe you read that thing. If you read... Oh, right, okay. No, I think what it is, I was looking for, you know, I was got to a point where I was thinking, well, let's try and discover a band that's actually good. And I went through Amazon and I made the mistake of looking at their sort of special offers and deals, and it was probably $3.99 or something like that. Maybe it's their worst album. Maybe they're really good and this is like the Met album. And they're going to try and sell it. So they've got like 1,000 copies of it sitting in the front room, so they're going to try and sell them. So it's a complicated and strange album. It's amazing. Please buy it. Oh,
We're not too impressed with Gazpacho, are they? But they probably try really hard.
Yeah, it's a 2-stroke 3 eggs. I mean, my experience today is 2 eggs. Probably 3 eggs music, really. So, you know.
Yeah. I'll say 2 eggs.
I mean, we gave the Prodigy experience 2 eggs. You go Bruce Dickinson 2 eggs, isn't it?
1 egg too many, that was.
Bruce Dickinson's biography I ordered arrived today. I did what I did with Phil Collins. I waited for the paperback because not that much. That's all right.
That's Gazpacho then.
Yeah, but as revealed earlier in this episode, next week.